Now, if you have the second pick in your 2020 NFL fantasy drafts, you came to the right place because I'm going to tell you exactly what you should do with this pick. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Luke from Red Zone Rants, and today I'm just going to be giving you a full guide on what you need to do with this second pick because it is kind of tricky. So, without further ado, let's get right into this video. Now, look, let's just get this out of the way. The person with the first pick, no matter what league you're in, full PPR, half PPR, whatever, they're going to take Christian McCaffrey because that's the obvious pick to take. So, knowing that Christian McCaffrey's off the board, let's go to a full PPR league. So, if you're in a full PPR league, the number 2 and number 3 rankings are Michael Thomas and Saquon Barkley, and you also have Dalvin Cook. So, in my opinion, it's between those 3 players. It was until we heard the news that Dalvin Cook is holding out, and my motto towards fantasy football is whenever there's any sort of drama with any player, you want to avoid that player. So, Dalvin Cook, there's drama towards him. He might sit out, so you don't want to take a player with the second pick who might sit out, right? So, now let's go to Michael Thomas. So, look, with the receiver depth this year, it would be a terrible decision to take Michael Thomas with the second pick in a full PPR league because there's a limited amount of top tier running back. So with this second pick, you're going to want to take Saquon Barkley. There's so many good receivers this year. Like, you can get Devontae Parker with like pick 57. Like, there's so many good receivers. Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, Odell. So you don't want to take a superstar receiver number 2 overall. Yes, I know Michael Thomas is the best fantasy producer in the entire NFL, but there's other options, especially when the running back depth this year isn't that amazing. You're going to want to take someone like Saquon Barkley this year with the second pick. In all leagues, I would take Saquon Barkley. Obviously, if Christian McCaffrey is there, you're going to want to go and take Christian McCaffrey. But yes, stay away from Dalvin Cook. Stay away from Michael Thomas because there's so much more depth this year at receiver, and you don't want to take a drama queen. And I know what you guys are going to say. Saquon Barkley's injury prone. Now look, me personally, I think Saquon Barkley can definitely bounce back this year. He's arguably the most talented running back in the entire NFL. And if he can stay healthy, his production will be out of this world. So I'm trusting that over Dalvin Cook, who's more injury prone, and over Michael Thomas, who we know is going to get you a lot of production, but also as a receiver and a group of receivers that's unlimited with depth. Like, I even like Tyler Boyd this year. Tyler Boyd and Jarvis, they're all ranked like super low, and there's not that many top tier running backs. I feel like once it gets to like the Raheem Mosterts, that's where things start to die down. So you're going to want to take your running backs out of the gate. So if you have the second pick, I would take Saquon Barkley. They just drafted Andrew Thomas. They have a better offensive line. Him and Daniel Jones have gotten more chemistry. It's looking better in New York this year. Yes, I like Zeke, but I think Saquon Barkley has more potential because Zeke has already hit his ceiling. You know what you're going to get from Ezekiel Elliott. If you want to go for the upside, take Saquon Barkley. Derrick Henry is there also, but I just think there's no way that Derrick Henry is going to be able to do exactly what he did last year. And also, he's not involved in the passing game at all. And yeah, going down like Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones, like those players are all good receivers, but you just don't want to take any of them with the second pick because of the value at receiver this year. Now with your next pick, I would be looking at either taking Nick Chubb, Kenyon Drake, or Josh Jacobs. And worst comes to worst, you might have to settle for Allen Robinson or Amari Cooper. Right here, if any of the Tampa Bay wide receivers are on the board, I would take them, but there's not a good chance that Aaron Jones is still going to be on the board or any of them like that. So if you can get Nick Chubb, snag him. If you can get Josh Jacobs, snag him. As a Browns fan, I'm going to see it. I think Josh Jacobs has more of an upside because there's less firepower in Oakland than there is in Cleveland. So I really feel like Josh Jacobs is going to have the better fantasy season, but I still think Nick Chubb is more talented than Josh Jacobs. Kenyon Drake is going to be so involved in the passing game. With Cliff Kingsbury's offense, if you can get 2 stud running backs, please do, because there's so much receiver depth. With your next pick, you can get someone like Courtland Sutton, Tyler Lockett, Keenan Allen, Robert Woods, like A.J. Brown, T.Y. Hilton. There's so many good receivers. And once at pick 52, when it hits Devin Singletary, the running backs fall off like a lot. Then you have to might settle for like Cam Akers, Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Swift, Kareem Hunt, Kerryon Johnson. These are all good players, but the ones who are rookies, you don't know what are going to be. So my opinion in the fantasy season this year is you need to stack up on running backs. Get running backs early so you can get receivers later. So yeah, that's my thoughts on this. Make sure you do all that good stuff in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.